BTS News Today. 1 hour ago, the world suddenly erupted into noise when a photo, seemingly simple, yet containing something far greater than a mere idol and fan interaction, began spreading wildly across Twitter, Instagram, and Korean platforms. The photo showed Jungkook, BTS's golden magne, standing inside a luxurious mall in Seoul wearing a black hoodie and a white mask, beside a young fan who looked on the verge of tears while clutching her phone with both hands. She smiled brightly, and Jungkook leaned down slightly so he would be level with the camera, giving a gentle, polite pose that was unmistakably him. Warm, genuine, sincere, and almost unbelievable that such a moment happened so spontaneously. But what shook the internet wasn't just the photo. It wasn't just that Jungkook was out in public, unscheduled, casually shopping alone. And it wasn't even because the incident happened only 1 hour ago, making it feel fresh, immediate, and still unfolding. What stunned everyone was the aura in his eyes, something deeper, almost like an unspoken story. There was something hidden behind that soft smile, something that didn't fully match the light gesture of an idol simply enjoying a peaceful outing. Sources at the scene revealed that Jungkook entered the mall at around 5 p.m. Korea Standard Time, completely alone, no staff, no bodyguard. Just a black cap hiding some of his growing hair, which had been trimmed several times during recent promotions. No one expected a man whose face is recognized worldwide to walk into a public building without causing instant chaos. But this was where things started to feel strange. There was no huge crowd, no sudden fan meeting style gathering, no panicked shrieks or running armies that normally appear even when someone spots the silhouette of his shoulders from afar. Everything was too quiet. A barista working on the lower floor said he saw Jungkook walking into the mall with quick steps, as if he were searching for something or someone. He wasn't the type to look restless, but today, there was a flicker of something odd on his face, as though Jungkook's mind wasn't entirely present, as if he was carrying a heavy thought, trying his best to hide it from the public. After wandering for 15 minutes without any obvious destination, Jungkook stopped near a children's clothing store. And that was when a young fan, maybe around 9 or 10 years old, looked up at him with wide, frozen eyes. She stood completely still, like she was watching a dream materialize right in front of her. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She simply stared, lips parted slightly, like she had found someone who previously existed only on the small screen of her phone. According to her mother, the little girl had been in army since she was 7. Jungkook was her bias. For 2 years, she collected posters, watched fan cams, even wrote letters to Jungkook that she never sent. The world seemed to stop when Jungkook turned and looked back at her, then smiled. It was a peaceful smile, gentle and full of Jungkook's signature sincerity. But in a video recorded by another visitor, there was a split second where that smile seemed to fade, like he was suppressing something heavy inside his chest. The young girl asked, in a tiny trembling voice, "Appa, can I take a photo with you?" And Jungkook nodded. They posed. People around them slowly realized who was standing in the middle of that shop, but there was no chaos, no pushing crowd, no invasive cameras rushing forward. It was as if time itself stepped aside to let the little girl have her perfect moment with her idol. But after the photo was taken, Jungkook did something that silenced everyone who witnessed it. He gently patted the girl's head and said, "Thank you." A simple, sweet sentence, but spoken with a tone that sounded strangely soft, almost sad, as if he was thanking not only the girl, but the entire world that had stayed beside him all these years. A few seconds later, Jungkook lowered his head, adjusted his mask, and walked away. According to the girl's mother, she saw Jungkook's eyes slightly glisten as he turned his back. And as he headed toward the mall exit, his pace quickened, like he needed to leave before his emotions slipped out in public. What was really going on? Had Jungkook just received a message that weighed on him? Was he trying to spend time alone but couldn't bring himself to reject a young fan's request? Or was there something even more private, something he didn't want to share with anyone, yet accidentally revealed through the subtle emotions in his face? Soon after the photo went viral, armies around the world began discussing possible reasons behind Jungkook's strangely tender but fragile expression. Some believed he might be missing the members. Others speculated it was related to preparations for a comeback or an upcoming major project that was both exciting and exhausting. Some thought perhaps he was having a heavy day emotionally, and the little fan reminded him he was still loved without conditions. Meanwhile, several Korean fans claimed that before entering the mall, Jungkook had been seen taking a phone call while walking through the parking area. They did not hear anything, but they noticed he stopped twice and stared at the ground for a few seconds, as if processing surprising news. But none of these claims can be confirmed. What is certain is that the moment touched millions. The photo was retweeted over 1 million times in just an hour, becoming one of the fastest viral idol moments of the year. Now the fandom is asking, what was Jungkook truly feeling? Why did he look both soft and strangely sad at the same time? And will he appear on Whoever's Live Tonight to explain? Or will he stay silent, letting the world guess what was hidden behind his eyes? One thing is certain, Jungkook never does anything without meaning. And today, in a simple mall in the middle of bustling Seoul, he left behind an emotional imprint that people can't stop talking about. And somehow, this small moment feels like the beginning of something bigger. Something that might reveal itself tonight, or tomorrow, or in the coming days. Something that, for reasons unknown, made Jungkook appear like someone trying to stay strong while holding a fragile truth quietly inside his heart. The story didn't end when Jungkook walked out of the mall. In fact, for many fans who were still replaying the footage in slow motion, zooming into his eyes, and analyzing every small movement of his hand, it felt like everything was only beginning. Because 1 minute after Jungkook stepped through the sliding glass doors, the tone of the entire atmosphere shifted, so subtly, yet unmistakably for anyone who had been following him for years. That a security guard stationed near the entrance later told reporters that Jungkook paused just outside the building. He didn't leave immediately. He stood still for several seconds, staring at something on his phone. Not scrolling, not typing, just staring, as if the words on the screen had taken away the air he was breathing. His shoulders, usually relaxed and confident, seemed to drop slightly. The guard described it as a moment where he looked human in a way I've never seen before. A phrase that quickly went viral once someone posted it on social media. And then, almost too quietly to notice, Jungkook tucked his phone into his pocket, pulled his hoodie tighter, and began walking toward the underground parking lot. But here is where the story takes a turn. A fan who had coincidentally parked her car near Jungkook's described a surprising detail. She had been sitting in her car, scrolling her phone, when she saw Jungkook approach his vehicle. At first, she thought she was hallucinating, but when she realized it truly was him, she didn't dare move. Through the reflection of her windshield, she saw him stop beside the driver's door, lean forward slightly, and rest his forehead against the cool metal of the car. Not long. Maybe 3 seconds, but long enough for someone who truly looked at him to notice that something inside him was trembling. That it wasn't exhaustion. It wasn't sadness. It was something in between, like he was trying to gather the strength to continue the rest of his day, whatever that meant for him. And then, as the fan held her breath, Jungkook lifted his head, unlocked the door, and sat inside. The car didn't start right away. The fan said she saw him close his eyes for a moment, both hands resting on the steering wheel, like someone trying to keep his heart from spilling onto the floor.